From the Maine State Pier in Portland, WGAN-TV presents the commissioning of the Stephen W. Groves. Now, here's News 13's Bill Johnson.
In 1942, Stephen Groves was 25 years old, a Navy ensign from East Millinocket. He was the type of young man that small towns are proud of, a high school athlete, an Eagle Scout, an honor student at the University of Maine, well known in town and well liked. It was the time of World War II, and Stephen Groves was there to serve as a Navy pilot. June 4th, 1942 brought the Battle of Midway. It was a day-long battle from which many flyers did not return. One of them was Stephen Groves. It was a superior Japanese force that tried to sink the damaged aircraft carrier Yorktown. Stephen Groves took off 9 times that day to do battle. He and 5 other pilots, outnumbered by the enemy, were credited with shooting down 14 Japanese planes and forcing 6 others to retreat. His bravery was recognized immediately. He was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross for extraordinary heroism. There were other honors to follow. The Feeney Groves American Legion post in Millinocket is named in his honor. And shortly after Groves' death, the Navy made a promise to his family. It would someday name a fighting ship in his memory. In Portland today, that promise is being kept.
This ship is named for a true Maine patriot, Stephen W. Groves. And Stephen W. Groves is an inspiration to those of us in the U.S. Navy. For us in the Navy, this is a very important day because we need this ship. I now place Stephen W. Groves in commission. CNO message 02-1756 of May 82. When Stephen W. Groves, FFG 29, is in all respects ready on or about 17 April 1982, place her in commission and direct the commanding officer to report by message to Commander Destroyer Squadron 8 for administrative purposes and report by message to Commander Naval Surface Force, U.S. Atlantic Fleet for operational control.
I will read my orders. From the Chief of Naval Personnel to Commander Philip A. Bozelli, United States Navy. Subject, change of duty. View Purse Order, 1847-92. When directed in May 1981, detached duty, proceed and report as prospective commanding officer in conjunction with fitting out Stephen W. Groves, FFG 29, and duty on board as commanding officer when placed in commission. Signed, Lander W. Zeck, Jr., Vice Admiral, USN, Chief of Naval Personnel. Vice Admiral Foley, request permission to break your flags. Commander Goodman, break the flag of Vice Admiral Foley.
Aye, Captain. Signalman, break the flag of Vice Admiral Foley.
And Vice Admiral Foley. Let's watch that.
Will the guests please be seated? Ship's company, parade, rest.
It is a distinct pleasure for me to return to New England. I was born in Manchester, New Hampshire, and as someone told me earlier today, you are now coming up a bit in the world, moving up to Maine, even if it's only for a day. But being from New England, I understand the fine qualities that you have to offer here in this part of the country. Qualities of citizens of Maine, that is the strength of the individual, patriotism, and a great sense of personal integrity. I also think it's particularly appropriate that I participate in this ceremony, in that I have for many years been a naval aviator in the Pacific, just as Stephen W. Groves himself was. I have in recent years commanded the USS Midway, which also makes it a bit appropriate today. Let me tell you a little something about the commanding officer of the Stephen W. Groves. He was my flag lieutenant when I was commander of the 7th Fleet in the Pacific. I've seen him at the peak of his game, and I've seen him on bad days. He is a former Fulbright scholar. He's an expert seaman. He is bright. He is personable. He has a wonderful family. You are very, very fortunate to have him as commanding officer. As I've told him, he has also been blessed with great leadership. Now, you all have an interest in this particular ship. We both do. You will be well served by the Stephen W. Groves because the ship is a product of many people. It's a product of the Bath Iron Works. It's a product of the last year of the investment of time and effort by the commanding officer, Commander Bazzelli, the fine crew that you see before you today. It is manned by some of the finest young men in the nation. They'll go forward, they'll train, they'll fight this ship if they have to. They'll become, as they have today, part of the United States Navy. The Navy is finer trained today and at the peak of its game, and it's a Navy on the move, and I think each and every one of you out there should be very proud of the Navy and those men and officers that are representative out in front of you today. Now, to Commander Bazzelli and the men of the Stephen W. Groves, as you join the fleet, I wish you fair winds and following seas, and I guarantee you I'll take a particular personal interest in your accomplishments.
Ship's company, out 10, up.
With the kind permission of our platform guests and distinguished guests in the audience, I would like to direct my comments to particular segments of those here today. First of all, to the chaplain, thank you for your part in keeping away the storm clouds. I miei amici, benvenuti. And the rest will be in English. First of all, to the shipbuilders of Bath Iron Works, you have heard much praise this day for your skills and successes. We of Stephen W. Groves, having had our first experience with Bath and the people of Maine, now join our predecessors and go forth and chant the praises of the Bath shipbuilders. In so doing, we will add additional reality to the legend Bath built. Though we have yet to sail forth to test ourselves and the hull of which we are now a part, we know and are comforted by the realization that this vessel is not only the best that man can put to sea, but that we will not be alone when we leave here. We therefore will leave with the comfort of your spirits beside us and your challenges before us. There are only a few people in this world who can share with me the pride that comes from hearing a Maine shipbuilder call you captain. For that experience, if nothing else, thank you.